Hello, and today we are reviewing the Heat 1 Civic Cruiser AI police vehicle available in the free roam Sparkserver of NFS World to donors. You have to donate $5 to it. I'm not affiliated with them and encouraging you to do that. I'm just saying that's how you get access to this and the other AI police vehicles we're going to be reviewing. Anywho, with that aside, here it is. So, interesting thing before we get started, this is the default Heat 1 police vehicle in Need for Speed World, and yet in this server, and I think only this server, for whatever reason, you won't see AI using this. Maybe because it's been converted into a playable vehicle by the server folks. I'm not sure, but we'll get to why in other videos of what replaces it. Anyway, you won't see this driving around like you normally would in Team Escapes, Pursuits, etc. So, it is a playable vehicle, however. Again, for donors, repeating the same thing over and over. Anyway, we're going to review it. I'm just going to casually go through, I don't know, the fact that I like it, and it looks nice, and how it performs by demonstrating that. We'll probably do like one race, one team escape, just get a feel for, how it behaves in said events. With that said, let's go in a free roam and take a little look around. First thing you'll notice, license plates missing. That's something I've covered in a previous video about some other topic. AI vehicles, when you are a player and have it on your own screen, the license plate's gone. This can be fixed by quickly crashing into something with damage set to on, plate appears, and then you do vehicle damage, turn it off, and you still have your plate. Anyway, that aside, let's take a tiny little drive around in free roam just for fun. This thing is fairly fast. It handles well, in my opinion. It has really pretty impressive turning, maybe a little bit of oversteer in that if you turn too hard, you're kind of going drifting around a corner sort of thing. So it's not the best, it's not the fastest, but it's fast, and it's very usable. I like it. It feels good. It's nice for team escapes and races. If you want, there's its performance numbers right there. Top speed, to acceleration, to handling, top to bottom. I wouldn't really believe those numbers because it's a converted AI car, and I don't really believe the numbers themselves. The handling is not representative at all of how well it handles, so I don't really buy it. Anyway, maximize that. You have 784 as your overall rating, so it qualifies as an S-Class car for restricted events, etc. Yeah. It's fun to drive around in free roam, and yeah, it's a good event car. So, that being said, let's go grab a event. I will mention briefly, and I'll show you. Try to do multiplayer, it will not let you. It's an AI car, it's restricted from it because some of the AI cars, have some strange behavior characteristics that we'll get to in other videos, but just suffice it to say you cannot use these in multiplayer. If that's a game breaker for you, don't get it. It's not for me. I really just honestly prefer using single player, generally speaking. You can do private matches with friends. It still works just perfectly fine in that, so I love that. And all that being said, let's do single player. Here we go. I might not have too much to say about it. I have actually already sort of covered how it behaves. I might just reiterate some of the same points, but here it goes. It's fast, single player. I just learned recently the AI vehicles are supposed to be roughly around your performance grade, so it's encouraging to see that this can sort of fly ahead of them if you're driving semi-decently. I'm using a controller, so hopefully I'll be able to drive a little bit more precisely than with a keyboard. And, yeah. We're just going to go ahead and fly through this. It's a pretty short event. We're already about a third of the way through. We'll do a team escape afterwards. Other thoughts about it. So we already covered its inability to play in multiplayer. It's nice seeing this vehicle that I've always admired and liked and loved the design of available in some capacity as an actual drivable vehicle that you're not doing sort of weird memory editing tricks that I've gone over in a previous video on a different server where that was allowed in some capacity. But yeah. Here it goes. Very nice vehicle. It feels good. This isn't in any way going to be some super ultra specific, very, how should I say, very particularly formal and informative review. I just kind of want to show them because I don't think anyone else has or is doing this at this point. So, yeah, it shows up as S-Class, 784, and I already went over that. Rewards, blah, blah, blah. Let's, ooh, $2 million. Anyway, let's go do a team escape. I'm going to grab a nice easy one all in on this server. It's not class restricted. And I think it used to be a D-class team escape. So let's go through this and see how this goes. Ooh, one thing I will point out that I forgot is actually a very nice little exciting feature about this car. Its collision weight is just unbelievable. Even without a Juggernaut, watch. Boom. And then with a Juggernaut, you just flatten everything in your path. Maybe I'm sort of imagining it being way super good. I'm exaggerating a bit. Maybe some other vehicles do behave similarly, but golly, it is just... Sometimes it amazes me, even when you're crashing into rhinos, how strong this thing is. So it lets you just tear through pursuits, team escapes, and the like. I really enjoy using it for that purpose. If you just want to... You know what I'd compare it to? It's kind of like the team escape version of playing a game like Doom, where the whole point is to just shred through everything in your path, almost uninhibited. Yeah, sure, it's not perfect. I've played this in, regular pursuits, and I have gotten busted from bad circumstances, but usually it's kind of hard to mess this thing up. It just flies, and it crashes through everything. It's fast. I love using this. Part of the reason I'm not usually in multiplayer, other reason being I'm just not very good at this generally. So, let's go left here. This is already an event I've actually reviewed in one of my earlier videos, but not on this server and not in this car. So, where are we at? We got 16,000 feet left. Let's hurry this along with some that. Team Slingshot, that's what it's called. I remember that. Okay. Should be a couple Rhino roadblocks here, which again, with the Juggernaut on and some Slingshot power, just shows, boom, I don't even flinch to that. I'd probably slow it down a bit and that's it. So, I just love using... Oh! Okay, I did flinch. I didn't have a Juggernaut on, so I got knocked around. Anyway, it's not invincible, but it's just cheap. But in a fun way. And playing single player, or you're playing with a friend and you both agree on reasonable how you're doing it for like a race, or just crashing along team escapes, it's great. Great vehicle. I like it. I'm not having to play around with, vehicle files to mess around with it. And it actually... Well, it's not just a replacement thing where you're replacing an existing car that performs like that. It has its own characteristics. No idea how it compares, I will say, to the actual AI programming. Again, I'm just not aware of how they've converted it and anything else, but for all purposes, it is fun, it's fast, it's strong, and that's pretty much all I have to say. So that being said, I hope you enjoyed, and we will get to more of these soon. Goodbye.